Hi, everyone. Welcome to Azure User Group Sweden. Hi, Håkan. How are you? Happy New Year.
A happy New Year, Jonah. I'm pretty good. It's -5 degrees outside and snows a little bit, but it's quite
Oh,
nice. How about you,
uh,
Jonah?
I I think it's about the same temperature here. I took a morning walk with my dog Lawrence, and it was snowing a bit, and we got some snow, but not sunny today. Typical winter. Yes, yeah. Yeah, did you have a great year, a new year?
Yes, yeah, it was very refreshing. So
Yes, same here for me. Recharge.
yes,
And I'm excited for this first session as well. And I hope that our community members and our live watchers or recorded watchers are also having a great time and had a great year start, as I hope. Okay, so to those that are new in our community, I want to take the honor to introduce you to Håkan, my co-community leader. So Håkan Silvernagel is my co-host and my co-leader for Azure User Group Sweden. He is an AI specialist working at Miles, Norway, and he is also a Microsoft MVP for AI technologies. He is a Microsoft certified trainer, international public speaker, and very active in the community as the one of the organizers of .NET user group in Oslo, and also AI 42 and the AI global community in our region. So that's Håkan.
yeah, thank you so much, Jonah. And I'm also very proud here to be able to present Jonah Anderson. She is the founder of our user group, and she is both a Microsoft Azure MVP as well as a Microsoft certified trainer. And she is also a mentor, and she also has her own podcast. She's an international public speaker, and she is a recently published book author. And
Yes.
we'll come back to that in a short while. And in her
Yes.
daily job, she works as the Solidify as a senior Azure consultant.
Yes. Thank you so much, Håkan. And we actually have a special speaker guest today, right, Håkan? A new Microsoft MVP that recently got awarded.
Yes,
Yeah, so we will
uh,
bring him to stage soon. Go ahead, sorry.
yes. We should also go through a little bit about the
Code of
uh,
conduct.
our code of
Yes.
conduct.
Yes, let me do that. So, Um, to our community, we would like to share about our code of conduct for Azure User Group Sweden. So, as a community and part of Azure Tech Groups, we follow conduct where we expect everyone to be nice and friendly. Listen on purpose and be respectful with your comments to our live stream, live chat, and even our after session fika, and seek to understand and not criticize. Be curious to open and share your ideas with everyone, and be inclusive and respectful in your comments and questions, both in the community and even to speakers or organizers. So, if you have questions about the code of conduct, feel free to reach out to me and Hokan on LinkedIn, or contact us through our meetup as well. And to those that are learning with us today, feel free to grab your phone and scan this QR code for the Azure Learner Badge, digital badge, and claim it as one of the Azure heroes learning it with us today. Feel free to mention Azure Heroes on your social media. Use hashtag Azure Heroes in Azure Sweden, and if you want to learn about the associated learning path about the sessions today, feel free to access the learning path later on bit.ly link slash ASUG Sweden dash Azure Key Vaults. Great.
Yes, yes. And now I'm very happy here to introduce our first speaker of the year 2024, Nicholas. Changs. Let's let him bring it into the stage. So, welcome, Nicholas.
Yeah, welcome. Hello, Jana and Hakan. Glad to be here.
Yes. So,
Yes,
We're
welcome.
open the Azure Sweden in the new year, so very
Yes,
good.
you're traveling to Sweden from
Yeah,
the UK.
yeah,
Yes,
virtually.
and maybe
let me
passing
let
passing
yeah,
by Norway on the way.
yes.
So
Yeah,
yeah, so just a little bit more formal introduction to Nicholas. So Nicholas is a platform engineer working at Kainos, interested in learning and sharing Azure knowledge within the community. And he works with Azure, Terraform, Azure DevOps, and GitHub. And he's very passionate about Microsoft technology. And this passion has led him to receive an MVP recently. So congratulations to that, Nicholas.
thank you.
And in
Yes.
addition, as we recently found out, he also has his own podcast and YouTube channel.
Yeah,
Tell us more about it.
yeah. So the podcast is
Briefly.
starting soon. It's just a
Okay.
new community initiative that to bring people together, stuff, just give share knowledge and stuff. So it's going to
Mhm.
be air on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube as well. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm doing that. The first session is will be recorded soon, and then will be air.
Okay.
Oh,
So it
Yeah,
should
and,
be cool.
amazing. Amazing
and
commitment you have. Yes, we look forward to that.
Thanks.
Yes.
so do you have any like introduction to your session, Niklas? What will our viewers learn today?
So I'm doing a session on how you can automate Azure application gateway certificate using ACME Bolt with Key Vault. So you can learn how you can quickly automate your Key Vault management with it. So I'll give you the benefits to use it, why it's essentials, and how you can quickly automate it using Terraform.
Okay. That's awesome. So it sounds like your session is going to be a mix of a demo and some technical
Yeah. So
theory.
it's gonna
Yes, that's
be
great.
some. I got some slides, and then I got some demos, so it should be okay.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. Is this your first public speaking virtually after you got awarded?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
since the announcement?
Yeah, because it was announced on Tuesday, so this is my first one.
Yeah, yes, it's actually common in our community, Azure user group scene, and we get like new MVPs getting a kickoff on our event. So that's awesome. It's an honor to host your session, and that's Lawrence. He's hard today, but anyway,
Okay.
yeah. So Nicholas will be taking questions on the spot, like Scott Hanselman style, but we will we will feel free to send in your live questions on the chat anytime, both on LinkedIn or YouTube, wherever you're watching us.
Yeah,
Okay.
and if any like windows that show up on the screen, I'll just drop the
Mm,
link to you, and then you can send it to them. So I'll
Mm,
jump into the.
yes. And don't be shy to send out your questions because the best technical questions will be receiving a copy of my book, ebook, and also paperback if you prefer that. But I'll be Nicholas will be and us will be picking the best technical questions. So feel free to bring in your questions. Great.
yes.
Are
Yeah.
you ready to rock the stage? Go ahead. Sorry. Sorry.
Then I think we can leave the stage here to you,
Yes.
Niklas.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Oh yeah, I already share it now. Uh, actually,
That's a wide one,
oh,
very
can you
wide
see the
screen.
screen? Or what
Yeah,
can
we
you
see the
see?
wide. Can you try the
Okay.
presentation, please?
Can you
Yeah,
see?
now.
Ah, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
it looks
Now,
good.
yeah, yes,
Okay.
that's great.
So
Rock the stage. Thanks.
let me just quickly move. Okay. So I'm doing a presentation on how you can automate your application gateway certificate in Azure Key Vault using Acme Bolt. So I'm Nicholas Chang. So So managing certificate in application key vault can be very dreadful process. And this session, you can learn how to simplify the process and automate it using ACME Vault Let's Encrypt with a Let's Encrypt approach. So who am I? So like Jonah and Akim said, I enjoy. My name is Nicholas Chang, and I enjoy watching movies, spending time with friends and family. I'm a senior platform engineer at Kainos and a newly Microsoft MVP. And I'm mainly focused on Azure infrastructure code, DevOps, especially Microsoft Azure. And I'm a blogger, speaker, and enjoy learning about technologies. And you can see the links to my blog here if you want to learn more. Social media, Linktree. And this is I'm a founder of Azure Community Interest User Group with my co-host Kevin Green. So we host events, so virtual events every 2 weeks. So if you need to speak in, come and join us. So we welcome new speaker and experienced speakers that would want to polish their skills, speaking skills. So in the new year, I've started a new community initiative called it's a podcast, community podcast to bring people together. And it will be aired in Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube as well. So it's called Microsoft Community Insights. The idea is just give people more insight of different people around the world, that's expert, and you can find it through the link tree. So the LinkedIn community here. Okay. So as we so I want to say thank you for Hakan and Jonah for inviting me to speak at Microsoft Azure Sweden user group. Yeah, so it's quite open. It's quite good that I'm the first speaker here to open the 2024 in the new year. So it's quite good. So let me see. So in this agenda, I'm going to talk about how you can talk about the understanding application gateway with Key Vault and how you give you a deep dive on how you can secure it with secure management, certificate management. The important automation, discuss why is it important, the crucial, why the benefit is needed for it. An introduction to ACME Vault, understand why is it used with SSL TLS certificates, and how you can automate certificate with ACME Vault. So learn about how these components tie together and automate your application gateway certificate management in Key Vault using Key Vault in Azure. And I will give you a live demo on how it can use to show the process of it. And then I will recap the session and highlight the benefits. That's why is it needed. And then Q&A at the end. So the Q&A at the end, we can have Q&A throughout or at the end. So I don't really mind, to be honest. Okay, so I'm going to give you before we get started. I want to give you an introduction to application gateway and why, and certificate management and why is it needed. So on the right hand screen, you can see an image through the Microsoft Docs, right? So you can create the user identity, the first approach to give it, like for example, app gateway identity, or if you do a different app source resource you want, and then you assign the policies, and then you assign the identity and Key Vault certificate to the application gateway. So 1 sec. So to get you started, I want to give you some foundation knowledge what's an application gateway. So an application gateway is a level 7 load balancer in an OSI module that let you manage and secure web traffic to Azure application. So this could be under app service, VM, function apps, or it could be like on-prem VM as well. So it also supports also support any additional features, for example, URL-based routing, web application firewall, XSL termination. For instance, it can decrypt HTTPS request and forward it to HTTPS backend server. So you have a backend server, could be like your VM, and then that would just have the HTTPS back servers to it. Yeah, so regional web server that manage application. So how does application gateway manage certificates? So you can tell that application gateway and SSL is it manages through the backend and forward all the traffic to the additional like backend servers. For example, if it's an app or VM. So additional, these are really needs to be secure for HTTPS communication because it can be prone to errors. So issue with such can lead to security vulnerability. So it always can impact the application performance. So what are the challenges with managing certificates? So one of the challenges with managing certificate is that, as I mentioned, it can be prone to errors and stuff when you doing manually than automated having a process. So it can also cost as well. So sometimes automation saved costs. So as certificate expiration result in downtime and security vulnerability, this can mean that when you have expired a certificate, it can result to your application in your backend server having some downtime, and then you'll be security vulnerable in your system. So this session, I'm going to talk about this slide. I'm talking about how you can automate application gateway certificate. So why you can automate the application gateway certificate? So you could read one of the reasons that it's cost reduction, and so you can reduce the cost in your system, and then it would improve security. So by automating it, you can have enhance your security in your system. So you can minimize risk of your security breaches and compromise certificates by enhancing your website security and data protection. So by using HTTPS on your application gateway, you can just minimize any security breach as well. So increase effectivity and ease of use. So what that means that you can, by automating certificate management, you can free up time for other web servers tasks that have more use of their time. So, for example, you can have it to use like updates, and you can free up like people from doing other tasks as well. Yeah, so allow more consistent and timely updates. So reduced downtime would be allowing reducing the time for interruption, like service interruption. It's by certificate, so it would ensure that the website is always up to date constantly, 100% update with different reduce your downtime. Yeah, so automate SSL certificate renewal, minimize the chance of service interruption. So ACME bot an overview and benefits. So I'm going to tell you some benefits that why you can use it and an overview. So ACME bot. So ACME bot stand for Automated Certificate Management Environment. That's a process for obtaining and deploying free SSL and TLS certificate for encrypting internet traffic, like HTTPS traffic. So it's an open standard protocol that allowed for automatic SSL renewal and insurance. So ACME eliminate the need for manual certificate renewal. It saves times, and then it can reduce errors and improve security. So ACME bot, so just mentioned that. So some of these, so ACME bots have so many private how it works is that you have providers. Some of them can be like what you know is Let's Encrypt, Bypass, Entrust, GoDaddy. So Let's Encrypt is like one of the most popular one for free SSL certificates, and it's that it provide a digital certificate in order to enable HTTPS and TLS for websites. So Bypass is another provider that for two-factor authentication that's similar to Let's Encrypt as well. And Entrust, sorry, apologies. It's a company that provides identity-based security solution that offer SSL TLS as well. And GoDaddy is is well-known provider. It's a public internet domain that offer SSL certificate. So how does ACME bot work? Is that first it provide challenge response verified domain ownership, and then it will issue the SSL certificate. So it support different type of challenges, for example, HTTPS, TLS, and TLS and TLS SNI. So I'll explain it in a minute. So first is like the bottom of this image, you can see it's using when you make a call through the web server, like web server admin software, it's calling through example.com, and then it goes through Let's Encrypt, and then we can see it's on a port 8303, and it's been this sign at the bottom is the hash that is signed to at the end. So how it works is that first it will request ACME bot would like certbot would and keybot would contact ACME bot provider like Let's Encrypt to request the certificate, and then the domain would verify the ACME bot would then prove ownership over the domain that you are who you are meant to be for you if you own the domain. Insurance is once the ACME bot verify over the domain, issue the SSL TLS certificate to the ACME bot. And installation, so you have request, domain, insurance, installation. So ACME bot can be integrated with different like Azure front different resources in Azure. So for this presentation and demo, I'm going to show you how easy it can be used with Azure Function and Key Vault, Azure Key Vault. So you can simplify your approach. So you can install, which is normally the installation for like install it on other resources for Azure. So it's other thing as well. It will be like the renewal would take place as well. So after you handle the installation, you have to renew as well. So I would do the demo will explain how easily it can be used to renew it. Yep. So as I mentioned, it can be done with Azure Function and Key Vault in ACME Vault. So I will show you briefly. So an overview. So I'm going to show you an overview of ACME Bot and Let's Encrypt. So Let's Encrypt is an organization that provides free automating TLS and certificate to public, and it's open source. So it support large majority of copyright as well. So and the renewal and as well. And ACME Bot is an automated process for assigning SSL TLS certificate, and it reduced time and required to manually obtain certificates. So it's quite efficiently of using this approach. So I will show you then. And it can easily integrated with different cloud environments. For example, Azure, you can integrate as well with AWS as well. So how this works is that you can automate application gateway using ACME Bot. First, you will need to install it. So install ACME Bot on a VM or anything like the Azure function itself. And the second would just be configure ACME Bot. So it could be with setting up secrets, setting up permissions for it to talk. So for for this demo that I'm going to do is how you can set it up with application gateway. And then you configure policies to, for example, you can set up, so this is, you set up a renewal process. So this would be for the demo, we could show how you can easily rotate and renew the certificate as well and update it. So test ACME bot. So always test ACME bot. Ensure that ACME bot can be successfully automate the process when renewing your update application. So you always want to test it first, so before we can push any certificates. So you always recommend you do a test. And monitor and maintain. So I would recommend always when you have your when
Nicholas?
you finish. Sorry.
Yes, I'm sorry to interrupt. We do have a question from
Yeah, sure.
yes. You said that we can interrupt you when you
Yeah. Sorry.
the
Yeah,
Scott
go on.
Hanselman style.
Yeah,
All right.
go on.
We do have two questions from Simon and Rahul. So I'll take Simon first. So Simon asked, is your DNS zone hosted in Azure for this demo?
So it can my DNS zone is hosted in what's it called? Forgot the name now. It's not hosted in Azure itself, but you can also have it hosted in Azure and just use it as well.
Okay. All right. I hope that answered your question, Simon.
But I can show you how easily it can be hosted in Azure as well and use it.
Yes. Okay. Or maybe share documentation how to do it
Yeah, I will
on
do.
Azure as well. Okay, great. Thank you for the question. We have another one. Do you want to take one that's active right now? Yes. So question from Rahul. Do we need onboard Acme boot formally to our Azure environment?
On board. What does it mean by onboarded?
Yes.
Can you tell him? Can you rephrase? You mean like, because when you the Acme bot is just a process, so it's just like some like this in the demo. It would just be like some functions that you use to in having a function app and stuff.
Okay.
It's a process.
All right. Okay. We will do a follow-up question to Rahul if
Yeah, you can
the
just
the answer
actually
is still not.
rephrase it. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Apologies.
Yeah, he said okay. All right.
No worries.
And yes, and then Simon also said thank you. All
Okay.
right. Thank you so much for answering the question. Please go.
So the step 5 I would recommend is always when you have your implement your certificate management using Acme bot, always monitor and maintain it. So you want to monitor the cycle of the certificate when it's renewed, and then before you don't want to have to avoid any bad certificate that's on update without any updating. So yeah, so I'm gonna give you a demo of some like few minutes demo on how easily you can use it to automate your certificate using Acme bot. And for renewal management of certificate, this demo is using for application gateway, but you can use it for other application. For example, you can use it for app service as well. So it's just a good solution that I've thought of. So let me share my screen. So let me share my screen. Let me share. You can see my screen, right? Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yeah, we can see, but you
Okay.
need to
Cool.
do
Cool.
the play mode, I think. Oh, we do
Uh,
see the PowerPoint right now, demo time with the
oh, okay.
minions.
Yeah. Sorry, I need to share my apologies.
Switch, switch toggle.
Yeah. One sec. I need to share again, but I should be able to share.
I will help.
I'll stop share.
Okay.
Share. Okay. What can you see?
Now
Can
we
you see
see.
VS Code?
Yeah, I see Azure. Microsoft Azure with the graph.
Sorry.
Let's see.
I need to share Windows.
Yes. Maybe the entire window or screen.
Yeah, apologies.
No, it's okay.
Okay,
That's the
window.
real world.
Entire
Okay.
screen. Screen
Okay.
one.
Okay. I'm ready to share your screen when you're ready. Okay, let's do that. Oi.
Can you see VS Code?
No, I saw StreamYard.
Uh,
Okay.
okay, so this is gonna be
Let's
good now.
see. Yeah.
Edge.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Now I see some code. All right.
Okay, cool.
Yes, that's great.
So to get some idea, this is the demo that I'm going to use for it. So in this demo, we can have application gateway and function app and some resources and stuff. So I already deployed this in Azure already. So I've got a I will give you a link to it afterwards, and then you can have a look at the demo. So let me go to Azure now. So hopefully you can see Azure. Can you see Azure? Sorry,
Um,
apologies.
no, right now.
Oh yeah,
Yes. Is it possible for you to kind of like share the entire window?
yeah. I'm trying to. One sec.
Let's see.
Entire window, and then it
Entire
will
window,
be.
yes. Where you have the VS Code and then the
Yeah.
Azure
Can
browser.
you see
Yes.
now?
Yeah, I see VS Code
Oh yeah.
and
Oh, it's because it's in a tab. I have to share a tab
yeah,
because I
share
put it
share the
on Microsoft
entire,
Edge tab. Okay,
yes.
that's
Share the entire window as long as you don't have any. The StreamYard should be in the other side.
yeah. Because on my stuff, I can only share Windows and Edge tab, but Edge tab include all my tab.
Okay.
So
All right. Okay. Let's try.
okay,
Let's see.
that's fine. Can you see? Sorry.
Yes. Let's see. We see Azure
Okay.
now. Great. Great.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So to get started, so I've deployed everything. As you can see before, it's on this Azure Sweden UK South Dev user group. Resource group, sorry. And you can see it's deployed quite a bit. So the first thing we want to see is go through the function app, right? So the idea is that the function app would speak to Let's Encrypt and ask for Let's Encrypt, ask for a certificate, and then before it speak back to the app service, or this will be the app gateway. So let me show you. So when you deploy that function app in here using the code that I provided, or so I've kind of look. This is based on this link. So keyboard ACME bot. So I've kind of customized it to use app gateway itself. So I will send this link on a chat as well. So you can easily. So if this demo will be based on this keyboard ACME bot. So to get started, I've deployed this already in Azure, and you saw the resource that to be deployed. So once you deploy it, you will need to go to the function app here. So mine's called Func Azure with Sweden SSL, and you see a lot of configuration here. The main thing to look at it will be the one sec. It's the main thing that you will need is these. So these are different types of functions that you need. For example, the check DNS challenge that would be able to verify your DNS. For in my instance of mine using, my DNS will be hosted in Cloudflare. So this will just verify my ownership with Cloudflare. And to renew is quite simple. It would just quickly renew it can issue the certificate. So we have different functions that is built easily. So you can have like renewal timer, different functions and HTTPS and same completion. So there's various of different functions that it's used. So once you deploy the function app, you will get like a four free arrow, and you need to give it an identity. So I gave it Funk Azure Sweden identity. So this identity you can use to restrict access to your function app URL. So you only allow it to certain people to access it if you need it to. So you all need that first. The second things that would need is, I mean, when you go to configuration, you can see the values here. So this is ACME bot AP Cloudflare API token. So this is the API token that will communicate to Cloudflare. So for your DNS, to get the DNS. So to generate an API token for Cloudflare, or anything like what Simon said for Azure DNS. So to work with Azure DNS, for example, it would be, let me see, there should be one for DNS here. To answer Simon question, there should be one for DNS. Let's encrypt. Okay, so I don't have it here on me, but there should be another one for, should give you, yeah. So if you look at this repo, it should give you some of one of the DNS. So I think here, sorry, apologies. So if you click on this link, and what Simon mentioned, if you support Azure DNS, these are the essential things that you need to do for DNS. So you just need to put this in the app settings. So in this work for function app,
So,
can you see the screen?
Nicholas,
Yeah.
excuse me, but are you showing something else than the Azure
Yeah.
token right now?
Sorry. Apologies. Sorry. It's because I switched screen. Sorry. Let me. Upload. Switch. Share screen. Okay. Apologies. Can you see now? Okay. So this is like Simon said, that there's a various of DNS provider you can support that can be built. So like you can use the popular one. It could be Azure DNS where people want to use it. So this would be, you will need to look through Azure DNS, and this one can be assigned to your app gateway. For example, for my demo, if I were to use Azure DNS, I can assign it to Function App. But in my demo, I've decided to use Cloudflare. So just Cloudflare here, and I just need to generate an API token for it. So I would need to log in to so it would generate. So you have to go to Cloudflare account, go to your zone. So let me show you how you can do it in Cloudflare. So let me go and share my screen again. So bear with me. Stop scaring. Have to switch. Okay, so I'll quickly log into Cloudflare, show you. Apologies, I just quickly. Okay, I've got some. Okay, so let's log in. So I'm going to show you how you can generate your API token using Cloudflare. Just I've got some 2FA that I need to do. So one sec. Bear with me 1 minute. 2FA. Okay, so 161,499. Sorry. Okay, so when you log into your Cloudflare account, you go to your ignore this. I got various accounts. So you go to your profile. Where is it now? API token underline. So if you can see my screen, it will be an API token. And then when you click on API token, is you could create an API token. And then you can create a custom token. And then you can assign it here. And then you can give it a domain here. So let me give my like test, for example, and then assign it to zone, and we can give it the zone here, read, and then you can give it zone edit, and you can give it some. If you tell it to include your different like domain you want or specified domain you want, and then this API token that you generated would need to put in function app where I mentioned. So I would generate one for purpose of this demo. So I put it here. So always, let me share my screen again. So sorry, it's because it's in the other tab. Not good. Okay, so yeah, so as I mentioned, always when you put your API key in your function app, always put it in a key vault, so don't hardcode your token. Yeah, so my instance, my API token, API key for Cloudflare is in my token, in my key vault. Okay, so for I'll show you some values that you read as well. So you need some your email address for Let's Encrypt to contact it. And you meant this is your key vault URL for it as well, and this would be your this will be the function app as well. So once you've got this and I've signed it, I'll tell you how it looks like. So give me a sec, and it will look similar like this. So if you can see my screen, let me share again. Sorry, apologies. Need to fix the. Okay. Can you see this? Sorry. Cool. So can you see this, Jonah? The screen? Anyone?
Yes. We see
Yeah. So
the
if you go,
yes.
yeah, keep ACME box. Okay. So if you go to the, you get this when you open it with your function app. So you get similar like this. If you get any issue with the function app, like the domain, when it needs to be added, like it will be any DNS domain, it means that you need to add you need to give permission from your key vault to listen to ACME Bolt. So I will just quickly go back and show you how it is first before I show you this. I'll show you that afterwards. So to be honest, I've set up some like certificates. So if I were to do another certificate, I would sign it. So I've set up a certificate previously, and it's called domain demo, and it's under nicholaschang.co.uk demo domain. And you can see this is when this is being created, the DNS name, the aspiring name as well. It's also giving you the thumbprint of it. And it also tell you that where your provider is. For example, it tell you whether it's Cloudflare or DNS as well, and is whether it's due for renewal or yes. So I've already created this certificates for here. You can quickly add it to create a new one as well. Give you the option of, so when you create a new certificate, you add a domain in, and click add. That will just add the DNS in here. And there's another option called use advanced options. So this, if you tick it yes, this would this is another option that you want to do if you want more advanced certificates into it. So you can have various, you can be more specific in your key type, key size, how you can, if you want to renew the key on the renewal. For this demo, I've already created 2 certificates already. And so I've created one called demo.nicholas.chung, and it's been created, you can tell when it's been created in expired date. And I created one on wildcard as well. So wildcard here. So when you go click details, you can also renew it. So when I click renew, for example, this would renew the certificate to expired date on certificate. So this is because it's got, the DNS is not in properly, because I already created it already. So, and you can revoke it as well. So you can renew, revoke it. Apologies for that. It's because it's not set. I already set it up already. And to once that's in, if you were to delete any of your certificates, I would advise to go to your Key Vault and delete it. So if you go to your Key Vault certificate, you can see the. One sec. Let me share. Can you see the screen? Let me share the. Okay, cool. So once you create the certificate and you go to your Key Vault, you can see the certificate is being generated as well. That reads. So previously, when I mentioned is that you need to give some access to it. So before, when you give access to you need to give access to the app gateway to talk to the Key Vault. And to do that, I've assigned the app gateway an identity, and then I gave the identity permission to the Key Vault, and I gave myself user as well. So, and I also gave the function app. So you can see in here, the function app is Azure Sweden. So I gave it the various. I just gave it some permission in order to view it less and secrets and key permissions. So you need to give those permission before you grant those permission before you can see it. And when you grant it, you should be able to and generate your certificate in the function app, the what I mentioned before. You can see that it's been generated here. And to delete any of your certificate, I would advise to only delete it through the app Key Vault itself. So once you delete from the Key Vault itself, it would delete through the ACME bot, the portal. So this is a good way to show it as well. So I'm going to quickly show how easily you can use it with App Gateway. So integrate it. So let me go to the App Gateway. So once you can see your certificate on Key Vault, to get it on the App Gateway is, let me go to the App Gateway. Okay, so you can see the screen. Okay, let me just zoom in first. So I've already created App Gateway. So my gateway is Azure Sweden App Gateway UK Self Dev. And to put it on the Key Vault, you will need to create a listener. So I create a listener, and it would be the front end IP will be public, and the port right here. It will listen to the demo certificate as well. And you can see it's basic listener type. So I've created a listener for free. And you can see the listener is assigned the demo certificate certificate from the Key Vault here. It's retrieving it from Key Vault here. And you can see the date status expired date as well. So once you assign a listener, always assign it a rule, for example, and in the app gateway, I've assigned it an HTTPS rule, HTTPS, and I've assigned it to, I gave it assigned to my backend pool here. So once you assign the create listener and rule in the app gateway, you will need to adjust the backend settings. So I've created a new backend setting called HTTPS settings here for free, and I've assigned HTTPS to it. And I will assign, just gave it host name as well. No. After that, it should pick up now. So once you set it, so once you set this up and you gave it permissions to it, for example, it should pick up to that gateway. So if you go to the front end IP address, you can see that. So you can see that it's navigating to, for example, the front end, the back end will be the two VM. So I have two VM in Azure. So I have VM1 and VM2. So this would navigate shift to VM1 and VM2. So this would balance it to VM1 and VM2. So if you were to do this approach using Let's Encrypt itself for app gateway,
Nicholas,
I would, sorry. Yeah.
excuse me. I'm sorry, I interrupted. I think when you click the front end IP address, it didn't show
Yeah.
the VMs that you were showing to the audience or to the learners.
Okay, sorry. Apologies.
Yes, yeah, I
This.
see
Okay,
some.
so if you
Okay,
click
let's do that.
on, if
Yeah,
you go to
thank.
the front end IP address of your app gateway, once you assign a certificate, you will see this. Sometimes you would have issues for it to work. This reason is the reason for that is that if you were to use it with, so if you were to use it with Cloudflare, you often need to assign the front end public IP address of the app gateway. A DNS in your Cloudflare account before it can listen to it. So once you assign it to the DNS, then you can, it would give it a few minutes to propagate. And once you give it a few minutes to propagate, you can see it listening to, you will load balance in two VMs. So I've got two VMs between in a backup in a backend service for the app gateway. So that would just load balance in two. And if you go here, if you go to the cookies, you should be able to tell this is from Let's Encrypt. I can't see it from here.
We don't, Nicholas. We
Yeah.
don't see the cookies. This the white screen with Azure user group Sweden. I mean
Can you
Azure
see?
Sweden too.
Yeah. Can you see?
Don't.
I just reading too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Cool.
that one.
Yeah. So this is under this. You can see this is working with the app gateway for some reason. But to verify that, you would just have to go to the certificate and check the certificate is under, if it's under the Let's Encrypt, but it should work because it said not Let's stored. Okay, so once you got that working, we know that it's load balancing between the two app gateway and certificate is in. So let me go back to the demo. So I've got to change screen. Yeah, so this is quite a good approach if you were to automate it. So I can show you, if you check my repo, I'll show you how to automate it using Terraform. So this is quite a brilliant approach to automate it. So it's quite efficiently, quite good approach to automate the certificate of it. So you can use this also with app service as well for it. So for this exam demo, I've only used it with application gateway. So you can use it with your different certificates, different resource that you want SSL. So let me go back to you. I should quickly show you. Yeah, so this is the managed identity that I've created, and then since App Gateway don't have any custom certificate for it, I've assigned it to a managed identity, and then managed identity I assigned the key vault.
Nicholas,
Yeah,
I think this might be a good point here because there came some questions during
yeah.
your demo. I think one of the questions was related to this. It's from Rahul, who says, "Is that the system managed identity or user managed identity, and what
So
are permission?"
I've assigned it the user assign identity. So I've assigned it the user assigned identity, not system assigned. It's because I gave it the permission I gave it is uh, it's assigned to the app gateway. So it's because I can control it more from the user assigned identity. If you can also use it for managed identity as well if you prefer, but I just prefer to use it with user assigned identity, so I have more control over it.
Mhm. So Rahul, please let us know if that answers your questions. Otherwise, you can just ask again. And we also had some other questions that I think we can also take here while
Yeah,
we're
sure.
onto it. So True Dreams ask, what does ACME stands for?
So like I mentioned, ACME stand for I think Automated Certificate Management Environment. So it's just a process that you use to automate different like ACME bot process provider like Encrypt bypass and things.
Okay. And then we also have Rahul who asks, can we integrate the ACME bot with ITSM for management and auditing?
So integrated with ITSM management processing. I'm not sure, but I think when you have when you go to the ACME function where I went to before, you see the overview of it. So let me share my screen again. So I think you can see the function up. I'm just check. Okay, cool. Can you see my screen? Sorry.
I will still see the Azure portal here.
Yeah, can you what? Just check.
Well,
One sec. Let me show you how you can do it. RG. Yeah, there is. So once you go to the function app, I would say the best bet is you can automate it by this. You can use it with ITSM by this process because you can see which certificate you mined by Key Vault and make a note of it, audit that, or you can see whether it's unmanaged or it's a different certificate from different provider that's on Key Vault. So to keep good track of it, manage it as well. And aside from this, you can just automate it with the original report that I've showed you before. It's in Bicep, and then I customize it for Terraform, so you can do those.
Okay. And then we have also one more question here from Rahul, who asks, can this be implemented with Terraform?
Yeah. So the process what I showed you was Terraform. So let me quickly show you again. Let me VS Code in it. So where's my VS Code? Just quickly. Yeah, it can be assigned to Terraform. Just I'm looking through my VS Code. I got too many windows. Yeah, so like I mentioned, it can assign. We can use it for Terraform, but yeah, there is. So I've created here in Terraform because before it's in Bicep as well. So this is just a basic way that you can use it for your process in Terraform. You can automate this as well.
Okay. And then we also have a question here from Sharu. Sharu says, hi, any limitations with the ACME bot? Any use cases it does not support?
Not that aware of. After, from my opinion, from using it, it support quite a lot of like certificate as well. So it support a wide range of certificate as well, because it can tell you which certificate is being managed by you by any block and which is unmanaged. So
Okay.
Okay.
And we also got the one question here from Tomato Car 719. Earlier in your slide, you mentioned that we have to install the ACME bot on a virtual machine. Is it a
no,
type? Mm,
you don't have to install in virtual machine. That was one of the option that you could do if you were to do it like in different scenarios. So in my demo, I show you how you can integrate it with function app and use it. But you can also put that, like for example, AcmeBot on. It could be it's pretty much a client that you install where you on a VM if you want. But I've been in my demo, I've used it on a function app.
Okay. Great. I think we don't have any more questions
Okay,
so
let me
far.
go back
Yes.
to
We kn-
my slide.
yes,
Got,
let's do that. Yeah.
can
Yeah,
you,
okay, let's do that.
okay,
Okay, let's
let me
see.
share screen.
Yeah.
Let me share screen.
I think we only have like a few minutes left now,
Yeah,
but we're
okay.
almost done, right? Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay,
let's do
cool.
that. Yeah, demo time.
Can
Yeah,
you,
great.
let me just go back. Can you see this?
Yeah, we see
yes.
the best
Okay.
practices for
Yeah.
implementing. Yes.
So in this slide, I'm going to show you give you some best practice for implementing ACME bot with Let's Encrypt. So always, when you implement it, always perform regular audit. So audit your certificate and ensure that ensure it is up to date and valid, and always automate renewal process. So by what I mentioned, you can also do bicep Terraform as well. And you can also, the good way to check the renewal is keep checking the portal as well. So as well. So you one of the best practice what I've mentioned is use implementing RBAC, role-based access control, to limit who have access to this what certificate is. So you only want to need the personnel that want to access the certificate, right? So you could be like a security management manager or anyone or yourself. So in my conclusion, by this in this slide, I'm going to give you a conclusion of the AcmeBot in the session. So it by doing it, it improves security. It will enhance your application by securing and managing by having this SSL TLS certificate. So by automated process and updating the renewal certificate, you can save time, cost, and improve security of it. So also to improve it by automation as well. So you can also improve the renewal process of the and have the more reliability of your application. In my conclusion, automate the certificate management for is process for application gateway. It can help renew and eliminate manual tasks. So one of them could be like it enhance scalability. So it give you a framework for automation, like what I mentioned. It can be used for Bicep and Terraform as well. And it's in order to minimize human error, so you can focus on more productive tasks as well in your environment. So these are some of the resources that I've used for my demo. So like I mentioned, this is GitHub, Shahab Keyboard Acme Bot. And this is a Terraform for that I found here, but I just kind of added more to it for the Acme Bot. And this is some of the information I get from Microsoft Learn for my resources and to get more updated on Key Vault. And this is some more from MS Learn from it. And this is another video that you can see from John Saville for Application Gateway if you want to expand your learning about it. So any more questions?
Not from the chat, actually, Nicholas. Thank you so much for your presentation. I never heard about Acme Boot before. with
Yeah,
Evolved. So this is an interesting session for me, and I'm curious. It made me curious.
yeah,
How about
because
you,
it's
Håkan? Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, ACME what was new to me too, so this was
Yeah.
interesting session.
Yes.
yeah, because
Yes.
I know lots of companies use Let's Encrypt more, but I never knew ACME bot. But a friend just told me what about it.
So
Can we
maybe
go
we
to
have a
the
question
second
from
last slide?
Rahul. Yes, so we
Yeah.
can, so they can check the
Uh,
links, I think.
this
That
one?
one.
Yeah.
Yes.
To take the picture, maybe with the link.
Yeah, I
Yes.
can
Take
send you a
it.
link on the chat. Sorry, let me just copy and paste
Yes.
it. Give me a minute. Let me
Yes.
go to the
Yes.
send it to private chat, and then you can send it to them. There
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Sure. Sure. Great. Great. I'll
So I've
do
sent it
that.
to the private chat.
Yes, I will send it further to the everyone.
Yeah,
Okay, we're gonna spam them with lots of links.
yeah,
I don't know how it turns out on YouTube though, but otherwise I will post it when I share the recorded session. I will resend all the links. Oh, it didn't turn out well. I'm sorry. I just copy and paste directly and it did not work. I'll repeat it later. I'll send it to you, Rahul. Please connect with Nicholas, Hokan, and I on LinkedIn. Everyone that's watching us and ask some questions today, feel free to reach out, especially those that has nicknames in YouTube. So in case you win the prize of the best technical questions, at least we know who you are
yeah.
professionally. Yes. Okay. Are you done, Nicholas?
Yep.
So
So, if anyone
is
got any more questions, just pop it on the screen, and
yeah,
I'll
and
try to answer it.
we also have an after session fika that we have. So to those that wants to join us, after the session. We have like a private or pretty casual connection for 15-20 minutes where you can join us on Zoom and ask more questions with Nicholas. So feel free and you have the interaction with us as well. And other than that, Nicholas, before we end the live stream, do you have anything that you want to share or you want to advocate or share,
Yeah.
like spread
So
out to the
if
community
anyone got
watching?
any question regarding the session or anything in general to me, so you can just find me on LinkedIn or Twitter. So the best
Mhm.
idea, just drop me a question and just try to get back to you as soon as possible.
Yes. Anything else, Håkan, on your side?
No, thank you. Thank you so much, Nicholas, for a great session.
Yes,
Thanks.
thank you so much. And of course, feel free to scan the QR code to join us right after this session. We'll start the Zoom meeting and join us on our meetup. And feel free to like register yourself as a speaker, like Nicholas as well. All right, time to go soon, but I wish everyone a happy weekend, Håkan and Nicholas as well. Thanks,
You
everyone and
too.
friends, for joining
Thank
us.
you.
Have a great one.
Thank you.